I'm Mandy. I just wanted to talk about how I found Agnes Dora and all the things that kind of led me to find it. And like most of you that are Googling and looking at different queues and different direct sales companies, you might have heard of a company called Little Row. And that is, for me, like really where my journey began. And I am a photographer on the weekends, and a photographer friend of mine had a pair of camera leggings, and I thought they were awesome. I was like, oh my God, I'm not really into leggings. Like, that's not really my thing, but I'm really digging on those camera leggings. So if I was to get any type of legging other than black, I guess it would probably be cameras. Because I felt like, oh, I can express myself through leggings. How cool. So one day on Facebook, I posted a very simple post, and it said, "Who sells Little Row? I need some in my life." Looking for camera leggings. And before the end of the day, people I didn't even know were commenting, they were just coming out. There was hundreds of comments on this post for looking for camera leggings, and it was invites to different groups and this and that, and I was like, oh my God, I had no idea how difficult it was to find what you're looking for, and that it wasn't just like I could say, hey, do you have this, and they could order it or anything like that. And so my search went on, and that weekend, somebody local to me was having a pop-up, and I thought, oh, cool, a Little Row pop-up. I would love to try some things on. So I go to the pop-up, and I could only had a limited amount of time, so I kind of looked through everything very quickly, and I did end up buying a few things. And funny thing is I bought a pair of leggings, but they were a solid green pair of leggings. They weren't crazy print. They were like cameras or lipsticks or whatever. They were a solid pair to go with a very busy top that I liked. So I go home and I show my husband, and he's like, wasn't super impressed because I had been talking about it, and he made fun of me for going and buying a pair of solid leggings. And so long story short, I continued to buy through that consultant for a while because I did kind of get hooked, and I would buy a little bit here, I'd buy a little bit there, and then I started buying from other consultants, and before I knew it, I had spent a considerable amount of money. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. And I knew it was getting deep into how much money I had spent, but I wasn't aware. I didn't want to look. I didn't know how to tell my husband. And so I just figured that he was going to have to find out by himself. So one day, I'm outside, I'm in the backyard with the kids, and he comes out to scold me. And he said, Mandy, girl. Okay, he didn't say girl, but he said, Mandy, did you spend $100 on Little Row? And I said, and he goes away and he comes back and he goes, did you spend $300 on Little Row? And I went, maybe. And he comes back and he doesn't think it's funny anymore. Now he's very irritated, and he goes, Mandy, did you spend $800 on Little Row? And I was like, whoa, what? No? Did I? Oh my God. So he comes back again, and he goes, Mandy, he went through and he put in keywords Little Row and to see all of the transactions from the time that I started to this day. And there was about $1,000 worth of Little Row purchases. And obviously we had an argument, and we had an eye-opening experience, and after that day, we considered becoming consultants and selling it, since obviously it was popular. People like me had a problem with not buying it or buying it, however you want to look at it. And so we I contacted the consultant that I had been purchasing quite a bit from and asked her if she was building a team, and if she was, I was interested in becoming a consultant. So she said absolutely, and then after that I kind of noticed that she went quiet and it didn't look like her sales. I had to stop buying. Like, I was cut off, I was done, and obviously I was like her number one, and I noticed that she wasn't coming on as often. There didn't seem to be a lot of live sales or album sales, and I thought, uh-oh, I think that she might be getting out of the business. So it turns out she was. I don't really know why, or never really got to talk to her about it. But in all that time, I was researching, and I was looking, watching YouTube videos on the queue and what to expect and startup costs. So and it was very interesting when crunching the numbers and how much money would it take to get into it, and how much what our return on investment would be. And it looked like a good idea. It looked profitable, so we thought, why not? And my husband wanted to do it with me. It was something that he was very interested in, obviously, making money. He saw how much money I spent, so why wouldn't other people buy the product as well? And about this time is when all the negative stuff started happening as well, with the ripping and with the leggings and this and that and the lawsuit. So I thought, well, is this the right choice? And maybe not. And it is a 6 week. You do have to wait for 6 weeks, and I didn't know how I felt about that either. So in all of the research that I was doing, I did happen to find, I found Agnes Dora, and I was like, well, what is this Agnes Dora thing? And some others as well. So I started watching the Agnes Dora YouTube channels, and as soon as I saw the clothing, as soon as I saw the product, I liked it immediately. I liked it way more than I ever liked any of the LuLaRoe stuff, even though I obviously had a problem. And I invested quite a bit of personal money into it. But the Agnes Dora stuff was way cuter, way more stylish, and you didn't have beaver leggings or taco leggings or pizza leggings or some kind of random effing legging that, if you were a consultant, how do you sell it? And as a consumer, I don't really want it. So, anyways, I started looking more into Agnes Dora and how to purchase, as a consultant, can I be in charge of my inventory? And the more I looked into it, the more appealing it was. And I was like, wow, this is cool. So, and then I discovered Periscope. I do like me some Periscope because it makes it very easy to stalk a lot of people very quickly. And don't you look at me like that, because you've been doing it too, because you're here right now. With that aside, with Periscope, I found watching the live sales was very interesting. So I'll rewind a little bit. I skipped a part. So when I decided that Agnes Dora was for me, I had found my rep on YouTube. And I thought it was very important for my rep to have a YouTube presence, because it was going to help me somehow in the long run. And I connected with the person, found a Facebook group, and emailed them, and didn't really hear back right away. And obviously they were interested in building a team. There was a disconnect, and I had already signed up for Agnes Dora, and I'd sent that person's name into in my email saying, this is who my rep is, blah blah blah. And as a few weeks went by, there was some I guess things that happened that it didn't really sit well. I didn't really like the way they presented themselves, so I had a problem with that as well. And now I'm in like this conundrum, because I want to be a part of this company, but I don't really like who I picked, and that was pretty important. So as I'm on Periscope, now back to Periscope, after watching a few reps, a few different live sales over the course of a few weeks, I did felt comfortable enough to reach out to one and contact a rep that seemed very down to earth, and I could just say, hey, this is where I'm at, I'm in the queue, here's my dilemma, and this is what happened. And she was very very easy to talk to, and I didn't feel bad. I felt bad about it, obviously. I didn't want to have to change reps. I didn't want to tell this person, "Oh, I don't think so." So anyways, we did resolve the situation, and I ended up contacting Agnes and Dora back and saying, "Hey, I did switch reps. Please make sure that I am signed up under this person instead." And I never joined a group. I never engaged in any training or any communication other than like 4 or 5 Facebook messages. So I didn't really feel too bad about leaving in the long run, because that person did not invest any time into me at all. So it was kind of it wasn't so bad. So I have now been in the queue for a little while. I signed up on March 7th. It is now May 7th, and I've done a lot since I've been in the queue. I'm trying to prepare myself the best I can, and so when the day I get the email and my kit does show up, I can hit the ground running. Hi, I'm Mandy. I have to have something for the blooper reel. Oh, yeah, okay. Forgot, I was doing a YouTube video. Anyways. So, if you like this video and videos like it, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much.